Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 3 In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the ICR-1 assault rifle. So far, this is the only one that I have a legendary or epic camo on. I have the Storm camo, which is kind of nice. You'll see it animated sometimes in this video. Going to be having a bit of fun today and reviewing the weapon at the same time. And let's start off with the damage. Damage is 30 up close. It'll decrease down to 29 at its medium range. I really have no idea why they wanted it to drop one damage point, and then 22 at a distance. You'll notice that this is very similar to the HVK-30, which means that it is average to low. It would be low in any other Call of Duty game, but it's about average for assault rifles in Black Ops 3. It is either 4 or 5 shots to kill, depending on how far away you are from the enemy, which makes it a very consistently killing weapon, or it kills in about the same time every time, which is a good thing, but it's usually going to be 5 shots to kill. The real weakness to this weapon, its critical flaw, its Achilles heel, its downside, is that the 4-shot kill range is only 19 meters, which is literally SMG range for 4-shot kills. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say the Pharaoh and the VMP have very similar 4-shot kill ranges to this, if not the exact same 4-shot kill range. I think the Kuda has this same 4-shot kill range and actually has faster rate of fire, which we'll get to in a little bit. So the ICR-1 is a very short-ranged assault rifle for the 4-shot kill range, so you'll need 5 shots to kill very frequently. Headshot multiplier is 1.1x. This makes it useful only after 19 meters or at long ranges. It'll make it go from 5 to 4 shots to kill at long ranges, but you won't be getting any 3-shot kills with the ICR, even if all 3 are headshots. But that doesn't matter because I found it kind of hard to get headshots with this weapon. The side-to-side recoil, which we'll talk about later, is not something I'm fond of and I have a very difficult time with, so I did not have a very easy time going for headshots. Rate of fire is 600 rounds per minute, which is slow. This is slower than the Razorback, if I'm not mistaken, and I think with the exception of the Shiva, this is the slowest firing assault rifle in Black Ops 3. That is kind of unfortunate because with the low damage and the slow rate of fire and the low range, it's going to have a slow time to kill at almost all ranges. There's pretty much no range at which this weapon is competitive with very many other weapons, even submachine guns or light machine guns or something like that. The time to kill is just really slow, with the exception of one fact, and that's the fact that the ICR-1 has the lowest recoil of any full auto assault rifle in Black Ops 3. It's lower than the KN-44, it's lower than the HVK-30, it's lower than every full auto assault rifle, it's lower than all of the submachine guns, the recoil is lower than the Razorback, and it's actually pretty competitive with the XR2 when it comes to overall accuracy. It's just a very low kick weapon, which makes it very easy to use. Unfortunately, the recoil is mostly horizontal recoil, very little vertical recoil, and the best way I can describe this is the Modern Warfare 3 M4A1. If you line that thing up at body height, it will very rarely kick beyond body height or head, but it may wobble side to side a lot. I find this recoil to be more difficult to control because it's less precise, it's less predictable, so the trick to this is to just put it on a body and hold down the trigger and just wait for the recoil to take care of itself. Just as long as it doesn't kick up too much, which it's unlikely to do, the side-to-side wobble will more or less cancel itself out and you'll get body shots without having to correct hardly anything with your aim. And on top of all that, it has excellent iron sights. Very rarely do I need optical attachment with this weapon. Yeah, I run them sometimes. I put them on for in-depth. Sometimes if I really want to go for long-range shots, optics are nice, but the iron sights are excellent in my opinion. They're easy to use, and if you don't want optics, you don't have to have them. It's very acceptable to run iron sights. I'll be talking about that later on in the recommended classes. Magazine size is 30, extended mags is 42. Extended mags is not a bad bet considering the fact that it's often going to take 5 shots to kill, but it's also not necessary for this weapon. It's not a must-have. It has the standard assault rifle hipfire spread, neither wide nor tight. Kind of standard in that regard. I would definitely not recommend laser sight or hip firing too often because it just shoots kind of slow and your time to kill is kind of poopy and you probably get outgunned by submachine guns. Movement speed is 95%, which is normal for the assault rifle class. Another one that's normal for the class is aim down sights time, which is 250 milliseconds. Very standard. I was hoping for a faster one there and didn't really get it. Same as the HVK-30, which is 2.03 seconds on the reload, which is fast. Nothing too special there either. And it has a medium wall penetration factor like almost all the other weapons in the game. So this weapon is kind of like a weaker version of the M4A1 from Modern Warfare 3. It's everything the M4A1 is, except it shoots a little bit slower, or if you want to say it's kind of like a less recoil version of the HVK-30, but the HVK-30 dominates this gun at time to kill at pretty much any range in any category and is overall, in my opinion, a better weapon. So the ICR-1 has a poor time to kill, but the very high accuracy means that the ICR-1 is very easy to use, and I really want to stress to you how easy this weapon is to use. I remember when the game first came out and people were unlocking stuff, you know, they're all fairly low level. I saw more ICR-1s than anything else because it was really easy to master this weapon because people didn't have a feel for the time to kill and they didn't know what was and wasn't competitive. They just knew the ICR-1 didn't kick very much and it was easy to use and they were all kind of running it. But I do think that this is a very mediocre assault rifle, but some people love this kind of weapon. I am not attracted to slow time to kill weapons regardless of how easy they are to use. However, some people absolutely love these low recoil assault rifles that are easy to use, and some people absolutely adore horizontal recoil because it's easier for them. It's much harder for me. But if you like that M4A1 from Modern Warfare 3 or Call of Duty's past, you might actually like the ICR-1, whereas I really kind of didn't. So here at the end of the episode, it's time to recommend some attachments. It is definitely best with long barrel. That'll take that kind of poopy 4-shot kill range and bump it out to HVK-30 4-shot kill range and make it much better. That'll make it infinitely more competitive, but it takes a little bit to level it up, and it's still not as competitive because you could also just run long barrel on any other weapon and bump it out, but it's best with a long barrel, quick draw, and foregrip if you are having difficulty with the recoil. I think I did not. I think a lot of the gameplay here I ran foregrip free because it didn't kick that much, but if you're having some recoil problems, foregrip of course isn't going to hurt you. The less attachments you run on this, the better. This is a really good bare bones kind of assault rifle. Even if you really don't feel the need for quick draw, don't run that. Just run it just with a long barrel, and you'll probably get the most out of it carrying other perks and secondaries and grenades and that sort of thing. Guys, that is all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. The previous episode was on my top 5 specialists, and the next episode should be on the ever so popular Man of War assault rifle. Drifter out.